what is it about Colby that you love so much?
Oh, what I really, really love about it is it helps set people free. And it helps people improve their lives in ways that make a difference for the rest of their lives. And when you find this information out and you understand how to apply it, you can touch every aspect of your life in a way that reduces your stress, improves the amount of joy and fulfillment that you have so that you can really be more, not just more productive, which is a great buzzword, but actually do the things that you care about and move the needle and reach the goals and the dreams and the callings and the aspirations that you have, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting you said what you said about freeing you, because I will say it's allowed me like to give myself more grace on certain things. And I think that people that take it, they might beat themselves up over certain things until they do understand themselves a little bit more. So I think that part's really important. Yeah. Did you get any sort of release like that? I feel like I kind of got this like freeing feeling whenever you started to talk about it during the training, and then when we talked afterwards. So I wonder if you had that similar experience.
So it didn't really affect me that profoundly. It helped me to put words to something that I've always known about myself, and that is that I'm that person that gets stuff done. And everybody in my life and my family and my personal life, if they need to get something done or they need to figure out how to approach something, they call me. And that's kind of what my MO will tell you about me. What it did, though, is I had my son assessed, and that was profound. My son at that time was 17 and had just dropped out of high school. Oh. And he was a smart kid, an elite athlete that had gotten injured. And I was always like this with him. We were butting heads. We were not on the same page. It was very, very traumatic for both of us. And then I found out his Colby result. And his Colby result was 4.358. What that means is that he led with this hands-on physical approach to everything. Everything was physical to him. And hands-on, and if it didn't work that way, it was not working for him. And he was a 3 and follow-through, just like you. And what that means is that the way that he dealt with organization and structure was to resist it and to find his own path. And because of that, school was not a really friendly place for him. The classroom was not healthy for him, and he was getting kicked out of class for chewing gum and for doodling. But those are the two kinds of movements that helped him to focus and concentrate. And I didn't understand that. And I didn't know how to parent him. And I felt like I had failed because he had dropped out of high school. And if I had only known what his Colby result was when he was younger and been able to set things up for him in a different way, then he wouldn't have had to go through that kind of experience. Now, he's doing great now. He's a very successful general contractor. He has a family. He's doing really, really well, but he had to find his way the hard way.
What a perfect job for him, too.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to get into the different categories so people have an idea as to what we're talking about a little bit. But because we're on the topic of children, I'd asked you a question during our one-on-one about like when's too early. You talk about like, is there a time where it's too early to take the assessment? So I'll just ask you that question. I know the answer, but like what's the answer?
Yes, there is a time that it's too early.
Okay.
The assessment requires you to be able to self-report, to answer questions about your best way of getting things done. And with children, that's not as easy for them because they're constantly conforming and adjusting and being told the right way and the wrong way, and which is a good thing. We have to teach them things.
Yep.
And so we have an assessment called the Colby Y Index that is designed for about a 4th, 5th grade reading level up to senior in high school. And we recommend that children with that ability can take the Colby Y index. The questions are written in such a way that they will understand them in language that they will get, and it has to do with, classrooms and schools and all of that. And then they get a simpler result than what adults do to help them to navigate and make decisions. There's a parent guide that goes with that.
Oh, excellent.
And the parent guide goes much more in depth to help not just parents, but any teacher or caregiver to be able to put that kid into the best possible situations for success, or to understand why they might struggle with something, even though cognitively they are more than smart enough to do something. And they're trying really hard. They are motivated to do it with their affective part of their mind. But cognitively, it's just not the good fit for them.
I've always wondered this. Is Colby Y Colby Youth and Colby A Colby Adult? Or is it something else?
No, I guess that makes sense. Colby A came first, and it used to be called the Colby Cognitive Index. Nobody knew what cognitive meant.
No.
So it was simplified, and at Colby we have the A, the B, the C, the Y. We're very, basic as far as our naming convention, because it sticks.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so